Ladies and gentlemen,
howdy folks, and welcome to Disney's Fort Wilderness Resort.
Thanks for sailing with us.
All ashore that's going ashore.
Have a great visit.
Well, Margaret, here we are at Disney World Campgrounds.
Do you smell the fresh air? It's beautiful here. Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Fort Wilderness Podcast. My name is Art, and every month we're going to bring you to a different location right here at Walt Disney World's Fort Wilderness Campgrounds. Each month we're going to show you how to get to a different camping loop with Reese and a golf cart. Also, Riley's going to let you know about the movies for the month. We're going to give you some points of interest, a little bit of history, and the big portion of the show will be talking with some of the guests who stay here. Some would say actually live here for months at a time. We're considering this our pilot episode. We'll call this episode 0. We're going to do a quick run through of what to expect on the show.
All clear to go ashore.
We're going to start things off here with Reese as she gives us a guided tour.
Next up is how do you get to? This is the part of the show when we're going to give you a tour of Fort Wilderness. Today we're going to take you to the 100 loop of the campgrounds called Bay Tree Lane. As you pick up your golf cart at the front entrance, you'll be heading down Fort Wilderness Trail, the main street of the park. We'll take this street all the way through the campgrounds and we'll see a lot of things along the way. The first thing you'll pass is the turn for the 2200 through 2800 cabins. We'll visit those on a different episode. Next up on your right is the hitch and unhitch area. People that pull behind an extra vehicle with their RV usually stop here to unhook. If nobody is here and you have people in cars or a bus behind you, this is a good place to pull in so that they can pass you. Next up is the 4-way stop sign that can take you to many different places. You'll see the sign with all of the arrows, and you can see that it's telling us to turn right to the 100s. We recommend continuing straight if this is your first visit so that you can see a few things. Continuing on straight, you'll see signs for the 12, 11, and 1300 streets and all of their bus stops. If you get behind a bus, you might have to wait, but not very long. These buses keep a tight schedule. As a friendly reminder, you cannot pass a bus on the road at any time. Next, you'll be passing the center of the map at Fort Wilderness with the 1000s on the left and the Meadows Trading Post on the right. If you're staying in the 100s, this is not the supply store for you. You've got one right next to your site. However, this is the location of the Meadows swimming pool and a place to rent bicycles, so keep that in mind for later. Continuing on Fort Wilderness Trail, you'll pass other streets and bus stops for 900, 800, 600, and 700, before coming up to our final 4-way stop sign. To get to the 100s, you'll need to turn right here. Only Disney buses can turn left. After that, you will turn left on the next street at Bay Tree Lane, where you will find your site. Because of its proximity to the back of the park, the 100s are considered a preferred site, which means you also have power, water, cable, and free internet. There is no need for a bus ride to the beach or the settlement trading post because you're already there. Getting a site in the 100s is more of a challenge during your reservation process because there are only 25 spots in this location. Book your trip as early as possible and make a request if you like being this close to the back of Fort Wilderness. You'll notice as we drive around the 100 loop that there are 2 cabins here. These are the only 2 cabins anywhere near the back of the campgrounds. We're not sure if anyone has actually stayed here, and if you have, please send us a message on Facebook or YouTube and tell us how in the world you pulled this off. Your last name must be Disney or something. Anyway, send us a note and tell us your story. If you're staying in the 100s, you'll enjoy the sidewalk that takes you right to Pioneer Hall, the Settlers Trading Post, and the beach, and the boat dock. That's all for How Do We Get To the 100s. Look for us next month as we discover another location. And now we take it over to Riley for the movie schedule.
Welcome to Chippendale's Campfire Sing-Along, where you can roast marshmallows, sing songs, and watch your favorite Disney movies. After a long day of Disney excitement, it's time to sit and relax under the stars for one of your favorite movies. Each month, a list of films is released, so you can plan your nights here at the Chippendale Campfire Sing-Along Show. When the list comes out, we'll be sure to let you know. Our first official podcast doesn't come out until June 1st, but we can tell you for the rest of April, you can see 1981's The Fox and the Hound on Monday night, April 23rd. The Rescuers and the Rescuers Down Under will be Tuesday and Wednesday. On Thursday the 26th, Chicken Little will be showing, and Friday night, the 1995 film A Goofy Movie will play. Going into the weekend, Saturday night, we'll bring you Big Hero 6, which I hope gets a sequel someday. Sunday night is the 1998 version of The Parent Trap, and on April 30th is the Disney classic Bambi. I'll see you again next month, when I hope I can say May the 4th be with you, with some Star Wars movies.
Thanks, Riley. Now for our other portion of the show. This is what's going to be called like the interview portion. Now, I'm not going to do a real interview because this is just episode 0. It's just a pilot episode. I'm not going to waste a good interview on the pilot because I don't know if everybody's going to watch the pilot. We don't know. But we do. Oh, that reminds me. We do have a couple coming up. Since I posted that we're going to be starting a Fort Wilderness podcast up on Facebook, I've contacted or been contacted by a few different people. So we do have some interviews lined up for our first few episodes coming up in June. First episode's coming out June 1st. Actually, before I do that, I could just sit here and interview you.
Perfect.
So, how's it going?
Good.
Everything good at home?
Yeah. I mean, you live with me, so you should know.
Okay. All right, good talk. Okay, so we spoke to Ashley. She's the admin from Disney's Fort Wilderness Camping Group Facebook page. She's going to be on a vacation soon, and I asked her if I could go down and interview her. Maybe she can give us a tour of her RV and her camping experiences. Oh, and I also found John on Facebook. Now, if you don't know who John on Facebook is, if you're part of the Facebook groups that we're part of, he's the guy who creates the wooden signs that you see out front of people's campers. It's just like a piece of wood, and it's all carved out, and it's beautiful. He actually makes those. So
see
John,
him all the time.
Yeah, I see him all the time. When we drive through, when we were doing our drive-throughs, you could see them, and kind of the logo for our show here, the Fort Wilderness Podcast. I kind of made it look like what his signs would be. Maybe one day I'll get him to make a sign for us.
Yeah,
that would
really
be pretty
neat.
cool.
We can hang it up outside of our.
Maybe we'll have our name on one side, and then on the flip side of it will be the logo for the podcast. Maybe he'll do a two-sided one for us. Maybe that'll be a question for him.
So
Can he
know
do
when we're recording or when we're just out camping?
Right. So that's good. We can flip it over. All right, and the podcast is on. We can flip it over. So those hopefully will be 2 interviews for our first episodes coming up on June 1st. We hope to have episodes come out every first. So June 1st, July 1st, August 1st. We'll see how that goes. We're going to be out there in a couple of weeks with my sister Sarah. She's going to be out there camping, and maybe we'll get some of our interviews done then. So those are 2 interviews we've got coming up. That's Ashley and John, possibly, but it looks like that's going to happen for us. What else should we say before we finish the interview portion of the show?
Have a rip-roaring day.
Have a rip-roaring day. Look that up. See where that rip-roaring sign is. There's still a sign out there that says have a rip-roaring day. It's hidden, though. If you find it, let us know.
You really got to look for it.
Yeah. All right, that's it for the interview portion. Thanks everyone for watching the Fort Wilderness Podcast. We hope to see you here each and every month. Click down here and hit subscribe on our YouTube page. If you're listening to this as an audio podcast, we hope you will enjoy us, even if you're only listening to us. That's all for now. Thanks everyone. We'll see you again next month.